Well, somebody's comment was, good chat, more tequila, cheers, boys.
Yeah, right. Are we away?
We're away.
Welcome back.
Well, yeah, I love this. Good to be with you again.
It is good to be with you again.
Yes, thank you.
Awkward.
Now, today on the podcast, we will be doing nothing
No, we
out of the ordinary.
I'm just looking at my list as I'm reading it. I didn't bring this up last in one of the other times either, but it's been on my list for ages. I met with a couple. Mm-hmm. We're always joking about how nobody listens or nobody takes anything we say seriously, as well they shouldn't or do. But I spoke with a couple.
You mean in regards to the podcast?
Or just generally.
Yeah.
You know, the podcast or generally.
Yeah.
Don't take anything we say too fucking seriously.
Yep.
But they said, oh, no, we enjoyed it. It's actually solved a couple of problems for us. And I was like, what? Our podcast? They're like, yeah. I go,
what problems?
What, yeah. But they hired a videographer when they weren't going to.
Oh, good.
They heard the videographer chat and went, oh, no.
Finally, we've got some friends again in the industry.
Yeah. And the other one was they decided that they would stay together on the night of the
I thought you meant in general.
No.
I was going to fucking leave him, but...
No, yeah, I was thinking about it, but you guys really made me seem like there's fucking no one else out there, so I've...
We just wanted to give you something to talk about on your next podcast.
Yeah, no, it's in the night before.
Yeah.
They're not going to bother with the split up.
Yeah.
They're like, well, we don't get it. I'm like, and we heard you say it and went, oh, well, we won't do that either. So they're going to stay together. I think in the morning they're going to split up to get ready separately.
Yeah.
But not bother with going to two different places to sleep the night before alone.
Now, I know there was another part to that.
There was, and I won't discuss it. So there was some people that did listen to our podcast and took something we said to heart and made some decisions about their wedding, about things they may or may not need. And I'm not prepared to discuss them at any further length.
You thought you were going to get away with not...
I did think I was
when you start, it made... I don't know where I've seen it.
No, we talked about it.
Yeah,
but you know, now that the people can see out of the back window of my office, they might be able to Google search it, find out where I live, and if I bring it up, my house will be fucking firebombed tomorrow. So,
all right,
you got something?
Yeah, cheap weddings.
Cheap or cheat?
Cheap.
Right.
Like, not a lot of money.
Yeah, economical.
Yeah, economical, whatever you want to call it. I did a wedding recently. Fucking
Bullshit.
Great show. Like, the venue's amazing. In the middle of Stink. You would not even know it's there.
In the middle of Stink? What does that mean?
It's like you go to Stink and you take a left. Like, you don't know where the fuck you are or where you're going. And you think, I'm definitely lost. And then all of a sudden, in the middle of Stink, you come to this beautiful place.
Right. Yeah.
Whoop, whoop. Same, yeah.
Nobody has ever said in the middle of Stink.
Write in. If you've heard the phrase in the middle of Stink.
Unless you're from Glen Innes, and then nobody gives a fuck.
Well, it was in fucking Glen Innes, all right.
Is that where the middle of Stink is? The middle of Stink is Glen Innes.
No, sorry, past Glen Innes, you go to Stink, and you literally take a left, and you end up at this really beautiful...
Is Stink actually a place?
No.
Oh, right. Well, I don't know.
It's like a bee's dick. How long is it?
Yeah, but everybody knows what a bee's dick is.
It's a little bit longer than a Poofteenth. Not valid measurements, but you still know.
I wouldn't say that in 2024. You can.
I can.
I can't, though.
Well, suck a dick, mate. You can say what you want.
Can you... On my list, I know I don't want to discuss this any further.
It was suck a dick?
It was you know how Facebook throws up, like, memories? I had a status from February 2011 that says, and I'm not proud of this, this is 13 years ago, it was a different, my outlook might have been slightly different. If you're a bloke and you own a cat, you might as well suck a dick.
Did you send that to me?
I might have.
I saw, classic.
Yeah, I saw that and thought, I wouldn't be able to write that in 2024, but it's worth mentioning. So sorry, suck a dick. Anyway, back to that. Somewhere out in his...
Jesus, hang on. How do you turn that sound off?
Fuck.
I'm trying to find a post and comments because the one that you commented on, some fucking muppet from America.
Hang on. And this is my fault, and I'll apologise. But you were telling us about the middle of stink.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, back to the cheek. It was your fault.
Yeah, I know it was my fault. There's Lincoln. He's fucking... So he's going mental having to listen to this.
Cheap weddings. And I'm not going to say exactly when or where because although it's a great venue...
Apparently it was just out the back of Glen Innes.
Yeah. So, anyway, recently, amazing venue. I will shout them out another time, but I don't want to... Anyway, the couple... I was like, oh, my God, this is great. How much did it cost you? Or maybe I don't know.
Oh.
But the whole wedding...
He told me this.
$13,500, and it was fucking sensational. And I'm sure you've done 6-figure weddings before.
I don't think so.
All right, well, fuck. Most people...
I'm not very professional.
There's, I've had both ends of the spectrum.
And that's just the dildo. That's what they're calling the double ender now. The spectrum.
No, wasn't that one of James Bond movies? Wasn't that?
No, that's called not.
Oh, that's Spectre.
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 Yeah.
Spectre.
No, the spectrum.
007 and the double ender.
That's what you should do. You should call the double ender the spectrum.
The spectrum.
We're on either ends of the spectrum.
You're fucked.
Anyway,
so yeah,
cheap weddings.
Yeah,
it was great.
Great. $13,500, like catering, venue,
but
grog, everything.
Tell people the part about, because I think this is the one you told me about.
Yeah.
Well, they did a bit of a barter, didn't they? Like everything wasn't.
Oh, well, so that's it. They were in the position that they didn't have to. Well, they could offer rather than money, they could pay in beef, which is also the most country thing ever.
I was about to say,
in the middle of stink, boxes of beef. So the photographer got paid.
So if you're out there and you want a box of beef from the middle of stink, make some calls.
But which worked out well. So the things that they might not have had and they did because whatever. And then they only got me to MC last minute because, they basically, we'll give you
and you said,
box of beef.
I'll take one in the stink.
Just sausage. I did it for
Somebody's
sausage.
calling me.
But yeah, I was quite impressed at how little they spent on their
If your
wedding.
number ends in 975,
fuck off.
I'm sorry, I'm not taking your call.
And I don't mean how little they spent in it with any disrespect. Like they did very well on budget. Yeah.
Oh, look, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be a six-finger.
No,
6-finger.
And to be honest,
the
six-figure weddings I've done, not near as much enjoyment as this one.
Yeah,
because there was a different focus. It was on the big, fucking show and.
Yeah, and I think we said in one of those other interviews, interviews. Is this what this is? In one of the other episodes about, that you and I, avoid the word professional because we don't want people who are looking for professionals.
Yeah.
But that's also like, I don't, and I'm probably shooting myself in the foot here for the 100th time in the podcast, but I don't really want to do big weddings like that. There's too much pressure for it to be something that I'm not really.
Yeah. Well, that's it. It comes down to that professional element. Yeah. If you want that person at that wedding is going to be in a tuxedo. Yeah, and they're going to be talking very eloquently.
Yeah, and it's funny. I sometimes see people I know doing weddings like that, and I'll be like, I wish I was. And then I think, no, I actually don't.
And there's certain venues.
Realistically, like there's a little bit of FOMO. Like, why aren't I doing weddings like that? And then go, I don't want to do weddings like that.
It's because we swear like troopers on a podcast where people like... They can very clearly see through the bullshit.
Talk about being on the spectrum. Which end do you want?
Now...
Is it my turn?
No, I'm still talking. Oh. This is something that you got...
fucking yap. Fucking yap.
So that gold vest Wonder Woman post that I did with Dylan at his friend's wedding, all the comments that are on there are... Oh, so cute. You look great, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, somebody with a fucking... What are those Western...
A bolo.
A bolo tie and a big fucking Western hat.
He's from America. I looked him up.
Yeah. Must be proud parents somewhere. Probably not. Surely not going to be grandparents in the future. So I've replied on behalf of everyone everywhere, go and fuck yourself, because Lord knows none of us want to. And Monty King's written... Oh, I can't... Hang on. Stand by. All comments. It got hidden because...
I did it.
I can't see it. Oh, no, here we go. Fuck off, boss hog. Don't you have juke boys to chase or chicken to fry, you silly old fuck.
So that's for those of you that are under 28 out there, that's a Dukes of Hazzard reference.
But so there was one photo of Dylan and I kissing. Anyway, Dylan's mum.
Gross.
Dylan's mum has, I don't know, I must have told her about it. And she's gone on there. It said, "Thank you for your continued interest in my family. I'm intrigued though. How did you stumble across this post? We all know that Facebook suggests things based off our search history."
That's very good. That's very good.
And I was like, because when I told her about it, she was like red, infuriated. But I thought, oh, this is going to be good because she's pretty fiery. Like,
decent.
yeah, and not much filter. Even though can't say the word fart.
Yeah, can't say fart.
But I thought, this is going to be great. I can't wait to search her out. But she was just so savage in a very subtle way. Love it. Good on you, Mumba Jumba. All right. Now it's your turn. What do you got? All right, I'll go again.
What do I... listen, that joke's been done, mate. There's no prizes for second place.
Oh.
He's...
You only say that because you always come first.
Yeah, here's one that I'm sick of. Here's a bit of a tip for you out there in Instagram land. That Beyonce country song, everyone's sick of the fucking thing. Stop putting it over top of your videos. It's a dog shit song, and it makes me completely skip over whatever the fuck you're posting if you do it. Cut it out.
I've definitely had it over one of my songs.
But you don't do it.
I know. So I hope, if you're listening, the King's got a message for you. Go on, tell her. Tell her to her face.
Hope I'm not attacking you.
All right. Now, I don't know.
I'll be brutally honest. I don't know how we're going to do a fourth episode because my list's getting real skinny.
Look at all the things I've still got.
Fuck off.
Yeah. All right. So, blast from the past, Nokia 3315.
Right. I mean, that's incredibly specific Nokia model. But
yeah, but do you remember that year? Like that sort of...
I'd have to see it.
It would be like 2005-ish.
What about it?
Huh?
Yeah.
What year?
Same with 3210. But anyway, what's your point?
That was my reference point. So years ago, I would have been maybe 12, and I had Dan with me. We were hay baling, and Robert was in another tractor going around. We're going around the paddock together, round and round, and that all you do in the middle of the night is you just talk to each other on the radio. Anyway, we were that bored. We thought, we'll request a song. And so rang up the request line and requested Sexy Bitch for Robert. But when it came on, he goes, "This song goes out to Rob, who's busy hay baling. Keep it up, Rob." Damn, who's a sexy bitch. So funny. And the reason I brought that up was because last October, I was also out hay baling. Same deal. Dan going round and round, Robert round and round, different tractors, different balers. And I requested it again, only this time different outcome because old mate on the other end of the line didn't give a flying fuck that I was requesting it for Robert, who's busy hay baling. So I thought it was hilarious as a 12-year-old, but it didn't really have the same sting as a 29.
Yeah.
So it's lost its bloody effect. You got anything, or you just...
Yeah, I'm looking for something. I've had it also in my list for ages, a message from another celebrant who sent us something, and because I made the note about 400 fucking years ago, I cannot find what it was. Off you go.
All right, so do you have a UHF in your ute?
No.
Well, when you're out at
I
Stink...
live in fucking Gateshead, mate. You sit out in the truck. Break a rubber ducky. Anybody got a copy?
Okay, so I was coming back from a trip at the farm recently, and it was night time, coming down Buckets Way, was stuck behind a cattle truck, and I didn't bother calling him up on the radio because I know the road, and I know there was no place to get round him for another couple of Ks. And when I could get round him, he actually blinked me round.
Right.
And so then when I get round him, I call him up on the UHF and I thank him.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate. And it was like we were best mates and he knew me. He goes, oh, I recognise that number plate. You've been up in the New England, have you? I said, yeah, why? Because, oh, you a cattle buyer from Yass.
That's hilarious.
So for those who don't know, my number plate is Yass. YA and 4 S's, and he has seen my wagon.
Are you a cattle buyer from now? That's how I'll be introducing you to people from now on. Oh, there's my children riding past.
Oh, classic.
So
there's one. Personalised plates.
Yes.
Yay or nay?
Oh, yeah, who gives a fuck?
Oh, well, that was great. Good content. Well, I did think I had enough for another episode, but not if you get a smashing down like that.
You can just rip through and I'll just go, nah, fuck that. Yeah, good. Yeah, look, no, I have no feelings one way or the other, really. I like them when they're funny.
Yeah.
It always makes me think, though, and this is well before you could get, like, really personalised. You know, you used to be able to get your initials or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And people used to, like, my mum, who is a interesting individual, has a lot of interesting thoughts, used to always say, oh, no, if I was a young girl, like, say your name is Amy, you know, and they've turned it into Amy, and she was just like, oh, that's just asking for trouble. That's just dangerous, because people were like, hey, Amy, and, like, get their attention, and then something could happen.
Who was saying this, sorry?
My mum. That's the sort of thing my mum is concerns herself with.
Fucking ball of fun, mate.
Yeah. But, no, I don't have any real...
Do we have to be careful? Would she be listening?
Maybe. She was watching on YouTube, but my understanding is she was a bit disturbed early on by the car park head job story. And I don't know that she's watched much more after that. Yeah.
How did you turn out so wild if she's a prude?
I don't know.
She can't cop a little bit of car park fellatio.
We're quite different people.
Oh, that's
is that
great.
what your children running past again?
Now, the Roman Empire.
I never think about it, mate.
Neither do I. But it's been like quite topical.
It's just a bullshit thing.
Girls.
I mean, it was quite topical 6 months ago.
Well, I just saw it on TikTok.
This is what happens when you hang around in fucking stink all the time.
Oh, I just realised that it's just not a good term, is it?
No, it's fine, mate. It's going to keep getting a run. Don't worry.
You're fucked.
Yeah, that's correct. It was a big topic of discussion some months ago.
6 months ago. Fuck, get over it, mate.
Yeah.
Move on. But
I not very often. Although, I mean, having said that, like I would say the Russell Crowe film Gladiator is one of my favourite films. And I guess, you know, if thinking about Gladiator is thinking about the Roman Empire, then maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't have any fun facts about the Roman Empire. Huh?
No, nothing.
How many minutes left? I got a funny story.
Is it not? It's not fucking 10 minutes long, is it?
So this is one for Glenn Innes, because without saying the person's name,
stink.
Yeah. Without saying the person's name, you may have heard this story, or you could very easily piece it together. But
for people in Glen Innes,
yeah.
Oh.
But it's just a funny story for everyone. So growing up, all the different sporting groups you can be part of, right? There's soccer, tennis, footy, whatever. And so there was one some kids I went to school with, so same age, and the dad had been booted from every single different sporting club because he was too verbally abusive.
Right.
Not only, it was mostly to his own kids, because very competitive.
I have strong feelings on that.
Yeah.
You're a piece of shit if you're that person.
It gets so good. So doesn't matter what it was, swim club, soccer, footy, whatever. It booted from the lot.
Yeah.
To the point where the only thing he could actually attend was a charity golf day.
Right.
Which, as you know, is about raising money. It's not about the fucking golf.
Yeah.
Most people that turn up to those days have never hit a fucking golf ball in their life. Anyway, he was having a particularly bad 9 holes and spat the dummy completely, yeeted his clubs into the dam.
Yeah.
The whole bag, everything.
I have an uncle that did that.
Starts heading, like, And it's like steam train, steam coming out of his ears. He's marching to the car park. Gets back to the car park, realises the keys are in the golf bag. He marches back down to the dam, drags the club bag out of the dam, gets his keys, and then throws it back in the dam, gets his keys and fucks off home. And I was like, that is like the height of, like, just no shame. So funny. I'm not. My kids have played some team sport, and I've been mostly fairly careful in not shouting things out because I don't want to be that guy. Yeah.
But in terms of the golf thing, I play on and off. I'm actually due to play in a number of minutes. But I had to go to a well-known golf shop with my clubs because the set of however many was down to not very many. With a bunch that were snapped. And I went in and said... you got a bit of a temper I need to have these reshafted. And they said, mate, we can pretty much sell you a new set for the cost of... Then it's going to cost you to shaft all those clubs.
That's funny.
And so I bought a new set recently.
And have you... So this is a, like...
No, that was maybe 12 or 13 years ago.
Oh, right.
I bought a cheaper set.
But you've since mellowed out a bit?
I bought a cheaper set to replace them and everything was fine. And then...
If I keep interrupting you reckon you'll get the clubs out of the shed and belt the piss out of me?
No. And then I just recently have been getting back into golf and bought a new set.
Yeah.
And have had to have one repaired in that time. And not only that, there's two things. One, I'm not very proud of in that. And one was I'd already booked into play and one of the kids was from school and I said, well, you've got to sit in the golf cart. And took him, and that was the day I snapped my pitching wedge. And so my kid saw me do it.
And that story came home.
Which I'm not happy with. But the second one is, I don't know if you know anything about golf clubs, but they're made out, unless you buy some fancy graphite number, they're made out of this kind of steel that gets really, really jagged when you snap it.
Yeah.
And I'd flung the club down and it just like hit the ground awkwardly and snapped. And then the half of it bounced back and caught me in the leg. And I got this like super clean, long cut down machine that didn't stop bleeding for about an hour. So I had to keep like with the kid there, and he was like, "Oh, you like the leg and the club," and I'm like, "Just,
I know
it's enough, mate." And then I took it into the club. I took it into the pro shop. Like, "Can I get this reshafted, please?" And the bloke just looked at me like, "Did this happen today?" And I go, "About half an hour ago." And he was like, "Mate," I go, "Anyway, I'll see you later, mate. Bye." But yeah, no, I've snapped a few clubs.
Yeah.
Well, if I surprise anyone, learn I'm an angry person.
That has been a bit of feedback, actually.
Yeah.
Why is the king so angry
Nobody
all
knows
the time?
I've always been angry. I have mellowed a lot. I keep a lid on it pretty well these days. But there'll be a number of my old schoolmates listening to this that I'm still mates with, and they will be going, "Oh, a bit angry, fuck." Anyway, on that bombshell, I think we're done.
I'll call it.
Oh, fucking righto.
Are we done?
Yeah, to this one. Not that one. That's yours there.
Boy!
Now, go and have a piss. Go on.
Have we got time?
We've got a big long trip. Off you go.
Big long trip.
You need to do a wee before we go?
I do. Before next episode. But I don't want you to get too angry and fuck your new golf clubs.
What time is it? No, if we rip through this now, we'll be good.
But that's what I'm saying, if we don't rip through.